It takes a very special young person to pursue an idea that is in their minds and make it a reality, especially when they are just barely 25 years old. That's my guest today, so stay tuned as we interact with him on this brilliant idea that he came up with to address the issue of climate change. My name is Sellah Bogonko, co-founder and CEO, Jacob's Ladder Africa, and this is Green Jobs Africa. Joseph, I'm so excited to have you on set today, especially because I've read about you, I've heard about your story. Wow. And first of all, when I just heard how old you are, I want to start there because that's a big deal. Because on Green Jobs Africa, we're trying to inspire young people, to be able to get into the green job space, but then also come up with ideas, be innovative. So let's start there. Introduce us to you, the story of Joseph, your name, your age, and then tell us a little bit about HiPAC, which is the reason why we're here today.
Thank you so much. So my name is Joseph Nguthiru. I'm 25 years old. I come from right here in Nairobi, Kenya. Mm-hmm. But I happen to do my campus from Egerton University in Nakuru. Mm-hmm. That's where everything started, the whole story and the whole innovation journey and creativity to get to where we are. Mm-hmm. So HiPAC is a Kenyan-based startup.
Before we get to HiPAC, what did you study in school, and then you get to HiPAC?
Okay, so let me draw back first to my high school.
Okay.
So I went to Alliance High School.
Hey, what's your Alliance?
I went to Alliance, and after that I went to Egerton University. Mm-hmm. So I didn't want to go to Egerton. Mm-hmm. The thing is, after Alliance, most of like our classmates and everyone else goes to University of Nairobi, JKUAT, and the rest outside country. Yeah. And I go to Egerton, and I'm going to do engineering. Mm-hmm. I don't even have the passion for it. I don't like everything about going to like Nakuru and everything. I didn't even know where Egerton is. So I was a bit depressed, and I was like half willing to go to school, half willing to study and all that. It took a lot of like motivation and counseling from outsiders and from school to try and let me into thinking.
So is there something you wanted to study, or you just, because you're talking about not wanting to do engineering, so is there something else you wanted to study?
Not wanting to do anything outside your JKUAT or not in abroad. Okay. Yeah. So, but most likely to go to the legal way. Okay. As a legal practitioner. Mm-hmm. That's what I had envisioned before. So when I went to Egerton, one thing led to another. I didn't like classes. Mm-hmm. So I used to spend a lot of time outside class, but not partying and not doing all that. On YouTube, trying to check what other people outside there are doing. Wow. Yeah. Uh-huh. And that's where I used to like stumble on a lot of innovations that are happening and a lot of creative things that people are doing, even learned DJing and everything. Yeah,
you tried everything.
I did. So the first thing I ever made, I was in Egerton. I was in second year, and you've heard of pyrethrum.
Yes.
So one of the reasons why the pyrethrum failed in Kenya, in addition to corruption and all those scandals, was that it was getting expensive to make that pyrethrum flour into the whole product. It's energy intensive and everything. So the government and the Pyrethrum Board of Kenya wanted to look for an alternative way to dry all that. And they asked people to come up with ideas. Something I'd watched from YouTube, I tried to remake it. And we made a product that's now being used by pyrethrum farmers across the country.
When you say we, it's you and your friends, or just you? Or?
No, that was me. And then the government had this development partner called Kentagra. So we collaborated with them and I designed this solar dryers that are now, farmers can now put their pyrethrum, dries to the right degree of hardness and the right moisture content of those flowers, and they can then be taken to the processing factories.
And how old were you at this point?
19.
Wow. And that, the dryer is still being used today?
Yes, actually. Wow. I think in December, I was watching a random thing when you've opened the television, and there comes this farmer who's like, tunashukuru serikali kwa kutupatia hizi dryer, sasa pyrethrum imetupe pesa. And I was like, wow. Yeah.
I mean, that was your innovation. That's amazing.
It shows that we don't have to like wait for the government to come up with solutions and ideas to solve the problems that we are facing. I think we young people have the power and the capacity to do that.
especially in this day and age. I'm intrigued that you were inspired by things that you were just watching on YouTube. And obviously we know that this is the age of information technology. So there's an abundance of information, and many of us spend a lot of time on YouTube, but obviously some people just follow some, I won't mention names, watching jokes and all that stuff or other kinds of videos. But here you were at 19 years old and you're looking at the internet or surfing YouTube to be able to get inspiration for innovation. And it translated to something tangible. So that's very inspiring.
Thank you.
So that was the first innovation while you were in campus. And then what happened after that?
So that became popular. And the development partners, Kentagra, rolled it out across. But then it wasn't like...
I know someone, let me just ask you this question, because I know someone may be asking, were you compensated for it? You were?
Yeah, I was. But looking back, that's probably, it's a learning curve.
Yeah.
You know, it's every day you learn something new. That's probably one of the places I learned because I hadn't patented it, I was compensated, but looking back, I don't think it's that adequate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind that much because it went along to help people. You know, it was like an open source project.
That's great. And so that's a lesson, maybe for many young people. When you start out your innovations, always make sure that you safeguard your IP, especially when the idea is coming from you. Because in many cases, not necessarily this particular one, but it's easy to get your idea working and doing really well, but then you end up not benefiting from it. So protecting it is important. And I know in Kenya we have KIPI, the Kenya Institute of Intellectual Property, I believe. So it's important to be able to safeguard your idea.
The really cool thing that they have right now is that with only 1,000 shillings, so you register for something called a provisional patent. So a provisional patent is like, it's less than 1 page or max 2 pages to make one. And it covers you for like a whole year.
Before it's officially patented.
Yeah, before you can now like get your idea in place and everything. So the moment you have an idea of how you can like make this table into a chair or something, register it, like the 1,000 shillings, and within like 2-3 days you have your provisional patent. Go ahead, experiment and try everything with it. Before the 1 year elapses, you like already have applied for like a really good patent that will be able to cover you. And
on that, because you're speaking about innovations, I know one of the things that when you look at the stories, like let's say of America, one of the things that propelled them in terms of innovation is actually patenting. The whole patenting, safeguarding ideas always used to inspire innovators to innovate. So that's one of the areas, obviously, that we need to work hard on, because I know there's something that we were trying to patent across Africa, and you realize that we're very fragmented. It takes quite a bit of effort to try and figure out how to safeguard something across Africa and then of course globally. But okay, so you finish your dryer, and was your next idea the hire pack or? No. Okay.
So I did this smart roads, something we call smart roads. So the idea was to have roads that absorb vehicle emissions. You know, like how vehicles have exhaust pipes at the end. And they keep on like producing these gases that are responsible for greenhouse
gases emission.
And so the idea was that these roads are a bit cheaper than the normal ones, and they take in these gases when vehicles ride above them. That was good. That won International Engineering Science Conference.
So you built roads, or how did you do that?
We built a stretch of about 500 meters, half a kilometer.
Okay. Where was this?
At Egerton.
Okay.
Yeah. I told you I was spending a lot of time outside class, so I had like
more than inside class.
So I had time to experiment and to try out weird ideas and everything.
But it's also exciting to know that Egerton was providing that environment for you to thrive in that way. That's really good, because higher learning institutions and TVETs are actually the places where that can be nurtured, because you have the labs, you have the places where you can, create prototypes and all that stuff. So awesome. And then? So and all this while you were still in campus? Okay.
So that one, and then you were like, that's too expensive for us to try and roll out and do everything. So you just put it somewhere on the shelf. Went on to build something else that was with L'Oreal. So L'Oreal came and they were looking for an alternative for either to reduce or to eliminate the use of plastics in cosmetic packaging. So like the next time you're holding a product like Nice and Lovely, Garnier or such, you either not have it in plastic or either reduced plastic so that they can reduce the pollution that goes into landfills. We made something for them. That was during COVID. Part of it was us getting some internship and jobs at L'Oreal after we were done with campus. And that happened.
So you created something for them?
Yeah, we did during the COVID time.
While others were at home complaining how they can't go anywhere, you guys were working. Were you still in campus or were you at home at this point?
No, we were at home. COVID, everything stops and everything. So we even we didn't even do them like physically proper products because it was part of a program by L'Oreal called L'Oreal Brandstorm, which invites solutions from young people across the world to solve problems in the cosmetic world.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, so COVID happens, you've done that, you get your internship, and then...
No, we got our internship, last year, but one.
Okay.
Yeah, after we are done with like school and everything. And then we got to, later on we did something else on smart pipes. So the idea behind the smart pipes is that 10% of the world's energy goes into pumping oil and liquids and gases across pipelines. So we were able to reduce the amount of energy used for pumping. So that essentially means that you reduce the energy that will be used by somebody like Nairobi Water or such, or Kenya Pipelines. Yeah. So we did that. Again,
when you say we, it's you and who?
I get teams for everything.
Okay.
So, I wouldn't do everything because it took me a lot of time to learn. I've realized the important thing is delegation. So if you can get somebody who's like good on IoT, Internet of Things, another person's like good on front end, a person's good on back end, a person's like good on, in that case, fluid flow and all that. Get them together, give everyone assignments of you do this, you do this, you do this, and then take this, put them together.
Put them together,
yeah. And you have working thing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get to Higher Park. You're telling me at this point, after COVID, you still haven't gotten to Higher Park yet?
Not yet.
Okay. So what is the next innovation?
Yeah, so after smart pipes, so this is how Higher Park happened. So my classmates
on the smart pipes, what did you do with them then?
After now you realize we can't change like entire pipelines because pipelines are some of the oldest infrastructures in the world. But at the junction of pipelines where we have like bends or T's, you can place a device that can help streamline an entire pipeline. Yeah. So that's what we made. It won World Engineering Day, won International Engineering Science Conference again. We got a couple of nominations for like a lot of awards.
Wow.
And that was like really cool.
And how long ago was that? Was it 2 years or 3 years ago?
2021/2022.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And then is that ongoing still?
Put it on the shelf again.
Okay.
Yeah. So
let's just pause there before we get to Higher Park because I know it's the next thing, right?
Yeah, it is.
What does that drive inside you? Like, is it the innovation or innovative part of you? Or are you just in pursuit of doing groundbreaking stuff or discovering things? What is that thing inside of you? What are you looking for that ended up manifesting in these different ways?
So both, I will guess. The desire to do like all that and the passion. You realize there's this thing that to whom much is given, much is expected. I figured out that like a lot has been done to me or given to me, and it's me to pay it back to the society. And the only way I can pay it back, I'm an engineer, I'm not yet graduated and all that by then, and have all these skills, all this knowledge, and the only way I can give back to people is to give them solutions that help them in their day-to-day lives. Yeah. So if there's a way we can cut down the cost of your water bills or...
Yeah, kwanza that one we need. Electricity, water, you should just focus on that. We will give you, we will invest in that, find a solution
so
for us.
If we couldn't do that, I think for me, that's joy. You see, like seeing that very random farmer on the TV, proudly using something.
Wow.
Yeah, like after all, that's what matters. Yeah.